I want to start off by saying thank you, God. And I want to start off by saying that I'm thankful that my life hasn't been a life where I'm groomed to live a disgusting, falsified life. Um, I know that my life is fading away, but I understand why. At least for me, before the end, I have, didn't make it easy for this slow life to live a fantasized and deluded reality. I know the reality what is what you call a target visual. What it means is I'm no longer living a life where organic reactions, feelings, and even my health is no longer up to whatever I do. I'm being manipulated and controlled psychologically, cognitively, but my body is also being tortured using this weapon system that's destroying me. The body is slowly wasting away. It's funny how they like to say how small I am. It's like, you're so small, because I'm losing weight, I'm losing strength, I'm losing muscle. This is what's happening to the body after being destroyed by this weapon system. And this low life bottom feeders that are contracted by these pedophiles let me just say this again. They're not contracted by pedophiles. They're contracted by governmental entities, Department of Defense, filled with pedophilia and pedophiles. There's been an issue with pedophilia in these agencies for a long time. I always put that in their faces, and once again today, in this video, just like the last video, we'll put that in their faces. This is the things I do. And I know they hate that, because the reality they wanted to paint was, I'm the pedophiles, they're protecting children, they're avenging, they are these protectors, the bullshit stories. And they manipulate my brain to break me down. For example, the prior video I said this earlier on. This is me making a video right before this, and because I make multiple videos per day, this is me.
To play with you, to torment you, to degrade you. So they do these things.
This technology can be used to sexually manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal.
So they make you have the sexual arousal to torment the shit out of you, to disturb you. So I see, for example, image of a child or patient, even these people who I'm not sure the children, they look like teenagers, but it's worse than that. Babies. Let me see. These big refugees. See these kids over there. Big kids starving for food. So they do that to the babies, to the old kid that you saw earlier, where they try to even make me look at this person. They look like a teenager or something, but if you look at this person's chest area, to create a thought and perception that's sexual.
So why I do that? It's because these perps want you at some point to accept these manipulations. And 2 minutes ago, or 2 seconds, throughout the day, they kept doing the same thing. And every time they do it, they try to gaslight you to accepting this. These videos, before any of this I'm going to show, they consistently do the same thing. And I consistently make sure that this low life don't live in that deluded reality. They are playing my brain. It is disturbing. And they are forcing my brain to have this perception and manipulating me to experience stimulation sensation. It's non-stop. It is a way to degrade the target visual. Now, they did the same thing. Matter of fact, one was just kind of disturbing because they were trying to really create a battle with babies, very young children, right? Babies like this baby here. I don't know if you can see that. That little baby there. To even just like an ad here where they kind of play with me, because they play with your perception. Like, it takes some second for you to process what you're saying. To this kid over there, actually, at one point they tried to make me think that this kid all the way here is the mother, but the mother is, those two are the parents, and those both are kids. It took me a second to realize that, because my brain, the way I'm processing the way my brain's processing what I'm saying is played with. And I was scrolling down, and there was like some teenager, and I'm just going, and this ad that shows up, and I see a bunch of soccer players, but I just move on fast. I don't even like pay attention to it. But they're apparently teenager, because this is a high school, and the way they're forcing me to perceive these teenagers, even it got so bad to the point where you see the kid here, and even in this, it doesn't show. There's one there that's bending over, They're trying to make me think that her shorts are like super tight, and she's just, and they even just playing with, and they make it look like the pants, like her shorts, her butt is coming out of it. The way I'm perceiving that is crazy. They have played with my perceptions in these disgusting ways. But it doesn't end there. Then it gets to a point where, and then here another baby here, which they can play my perception. But there's also this ways where they can make me perceive kids like adults, like the soccer player. And so I'm scrolling down and I'm seeing this thing here. I'm going fast. At one point I think it's just some girls there. I'm just scrolling down. I'm not even paying too much attention. I'm going fast, right? Then I look closer. I'm looking at, and I see, oh, these are the kids of these rappers. And when I look close, I can see that they're kids, like children, like 14-year-old. I think in my mind, that's what I'm looking at. I'm thinking, but it took me a second to see that. But at first, I'm just scrolling fast, and as you scroll fast, you just don't even pay too much attention. You think just like some regular girls, because you can't even really process what you're seeing. At least me. You see how hard it was for me to process this kids in this picnic thing. So I scroll fast. I don't really pay too much attention, and then I read the title, and I see this is Lil Bow Wow's children. I'm like, what? And I'm looking at it, it's like, oh, they look like teenager, like early teen, like 14 years old, 13, 14-year-old teenage kids. I was like, is that Bow Wow teenage? Because Bow Wow is about my age. If you don't know who is Lil Bow Wow, is a rapper that used to be big in the mid 2010-ish or 2000, early 2000 or so. So I'm looking at and it's like, oh, she's like a teenage kid. But I'm like, Bow Wow is young to have teenage kids. And as I'm looking at this kid, they're forcing me to try to look at her in a sexual way. I don't know if you can capture how young she looks. Actually, the closer you get, like if you look at by here, you don't know how young she looks. She's a baby. And I'm like, she looked like more like a 13, 14-year-old kid. But my brain is just a mess, right? So perceiving people takes me a second. I have to really just concentrate. And even when I'm perceiving, try to process what I'm seeing, they can play my brain. Try to make me look at this kid like in a womanly way, when she's just a baby. And so I even get to the point where, is that Bow Wow's kid or is like somebody else's kid? Because I'm giving her 14, 15 years old. And she's only 12 years old. She's a baby. And it took me a second. I had to like go through the video, and when you see even more of her being a child, she's a baby. And they try to make me look at her like she's a curvaceous woman, when she's just a baby. She's like a baby fat. She got like fat of a baby. Like a chubby kind of like growing up kid. But the way they were playing my brain, oh my gosh. And initially, even the battle is this. They even tried to be like, oh, but it took you a second to see her, to notice her, to notice that she was a kid. It's like, yes, because you're in my brain. If I was able to like see things normally, sometimes it's even obvious that the kids, my brain is just taking a second to just process what. It's like, no, it took you a while. You see, you didn't notice. It's like, when you see closer, when you start saying, okay, she's like a 14-year-old kid. But you have to pay attention. But if I'm just scrolling fast, I'm like, okay, it's some girl, you just not paying attention. And even that is validation for them. It's like, see, it took you a second to recognize her being a child. It's like, yes, you guys in my brain, playing my brain. I can't even look at a baby without being forced to create perception that's sexual. This kid is like she looked like a 14-year-old kid. She's only 12 actually. And the thing that was kind of confusing is like, I didn't even remember Bow Wow having kids that age, like they are teenagers. But the kid is not even a teenager. She's like about to be a teenager. She's 12 years old. She's a baby. And so the game became like, oh, but why did it take you a while to recognize that she was a kid? Why did you have to focus on her? And why did you like? Why, while you didn't scroll, you didn't see that immediately? I was like, what? That's how it goes. It's like, oh, we mapped it and this and that. You saw the last video. It was not. It was the video was like 3-4 hours ago. Maybe in the morning. Yeah, so it was like 6 hours ago. Describing like, this is what they make me perceive kids this way, forcing me to perceive them in sexual. And now after recognizing it, the way they're forcing me to have this perception, and I don't know if the video can show, she's very much a child, baby. Even this, like, And they try to create this like perception, like making her womanly, giving her like, making me imagine her having curves in a womanly way, not like a baby fat. She's truly a child. But my brain has a battle where they're playing her perception of her in a sexual way, but it's just like, I know it's my brain being played with. And this is what they do. Why am I making videos of the same things? If I made a video earlier at 10 p.m., 10 a.m., and now it's like 9 p.m. and I'm saying the same thing, why am I doing that? It's because these perps want to live in that fantasized reality. Let me just show you what I just said earlier this morning.
Once you go through, this is a joke or crazy.
This is literally me saying this earlier this morning.
High school, that was, this like kind of like dark human thing that I used to make fun of my best friend who we don't have like no, to just torment you, to degrade you. So they do these things.
This technology can be used to sexually manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal.
So they make you have the sexual arousal to torment the shit out of you, to disturb you. So I see, for example, image of a child or patient, even these people who, I'm not sure the children, they look like teenagers, but it's worse than that. Babies, let me see. These people, refugees, see these kids over there. Big kids starving for food. So they do that to the babies, to the old kid that you saw earlier, where they try to make me look at this person. They look like a teenager or something, but look at this person's chest area. To create a thought and perception that's sexual. And then try to gaslight you every time they manipulate you to have this reaction. And it's like, now we prove there's a what the hell? You know who's proving you? First of all, they rewire the thought process. They rewire the thought process part of how they break you down. It's unfortunately a cognitive warfare type of thing. This weapon system obviously taught you right, but psychologically, cognitively break you down.
That you can control them using neurolinguistic programming techniques. You're rewiring their thought processes and brains. And so this gets into what's called offensive information warfare.
It becomes just like this cognitive manipulation that's supposed to torment you. And they do that because of this.
So it works pretty well. And then I don't know if I'm going to get into this, but there's something called frequent game theory. How do you, we want to see and manipulate people to do things that are irrational, but also walk them to the death. And so you call it eugenics program. And they need to sample all cultures, language throughout the world to define the probability matrices of which tricks, techniques, deception works. So,
you understand? So this is why they're using this on to us every day. To continuously develop the matrix of the tactics that works. So for me, when they force me to have this reaction like, oh, remember when she gets a kid, or they're like, oh, ha 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 ha, this joke, this phrase I heard that was just absurd.
This is what consistently happens to me. They're making me imagine this disturbing things with this kid, the kid of Bow Wow. Just imagine me being with her. Creating thoughts with this kid who's 12 years old. Try to create something sexual and like, oh, she's pretty. Yes, good for her, baby. She's like, no, you want her. It's like, no, you want me to you are forcing me to imagine these things. And creating this disgusting perception to this child, this baby. She looked like a early teenage girl, like a 13, 14-year-old baby. And because, by the way, they're using this fucking trash they're gonna frame me with that have about the same age of this kid. Maybe who they are actually like 13, 14. They try to create this. It's so nasty. And they play with the way they can confuse my brain, manipulate my brain, the lack of processing, the like how my brain is just being slowed down and manipulated. And like, oh no, you weren't fast enough to notice that she was like, I'm like, Jesus. It's like, now when you scroll fast like that, you thought it was not a kid. It was like, yeah, because I wasn't paying attention to her. Then when I'm paying attention, I was like, oh, that's a child, like an early teen child. It's not like you. I know it's not close to 16, like close to 14, 15, 14-ish, like that. And she's even younger than that. She's actually 12. She's a baby. And they try to like, oh no, but I say it took a while. And would you even? I was like, if just by seeing her, you can clearly see her as a child. If you pay attention to her, if you scroll fast, you know, it's just like you go some, you know, you're not gonna see it. It's like that's proof. You see that pay. That is the type of things they do to break you down. Because at the end of the day, may Robin Duncan rest in peace if he's dead. Because apparently they found him dead. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's a rumor. I don't know if it's truly what happened to him, if he's still alive or not. But he said this thing, and in this, him and this target vigil, and this.
That this person developed delusional disorder. This is a paranoid schizophrenia. But first of all, nobody develops paranoid schizophrenia in the 50s. In their 50s. This is, you know, if you haven't developed it by 30, it's then this technology exists. These nefarious programs exist. And it's hard to imagine for a person that why would you do something like this? But if you think about the new type of warfare, exactly, it's a cognitive warfare. You don't have to kill people that you are fighting against. You can just degrade their brain. You can
you alter their minds.
Yeah, alter their minds.
Personalities.
And it's like Chinese torture. I mean,
And so that's what's happening. They're playing with our brain and to torment us. And they play with the perceptions and the way they can just make you perceive things in this manipulative way. Right? And they contract these losers around me, by the way, this trash right now in the hallways, you know, doing whatever they're paid to do, to come to this.
V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as
You heard manipulation of perceptions and thoughts. So when I'm forced, and by the way, my thoughts are being played with right now because they're still trying to create these battles. And so when they force me to have this perception toward this, well, here she's obviously a kid, but like it's easy, like there's no way to just go around it. But when I like scroll fast and I see, you know, for example, you see, right now you won't pay attention, but if you look closer, you see that's a baby. It's like a baby, like a 14-year-old baby. But they try to create that perception in a sexual way, like she's an adult woman when she's like a baby, innocent child. You maybe give her like a 14-year-old, but she's even younger than that. She's 12. She's truly like a true baby. And the battles are in your brain. Once you figure it out it's a baby and you can see that's a baby, then it's like, oh, but why did it take a while for you to recognize that being? At one point they're like, oh, but would you know if I just pay attention and say, oh, she's a baby. Oh, like I'll give her like 14-ish years old, but she's even younger than that. She's a baby, like 12. And they're creating these battles in your brain. It's like, no, but you see, why did it take you a while? Then they bring up something else and did that to an older kid where they... It's like, now we mapped it. It's like, this is the things they do. But you understand, me, and that's what I expect my life is going to be. They're going to manipulate me to degrade me. And I show precedent, I show the consistency of what they do. This is not the first video. I've made so many videos of the same thing. They're going to do the same things. They're going to try to they're going to give me sensation, stimulation. They're going to play my perception. The one thing with her, what they're doing is that manipulation where they try to make me perceive her like she's a woman when she's clearly just a baby. They do that all the time. They've done it to other people. They've done it to, like, this always perceptions and manipulation. As long as they can take something and try to create that, like, the way you perceive a woman, and use that. Anything. They've done it to, like there's this kid that was just 10 years old that survived in my stream. They were trying to make me look at her breast and create some sexual things based on the breast that she doesn't have. She's 10. What kind of breast? She has nothing. That's the things they do. It's nasty. But that's what they're going to do all the time. And then when you, let's just say, like, you're kind of slow to figure it out as a child because your brain is just kind of slowed down, or you're not even paying attention. You're like just like scrolling fast and you don't even care. It's just okay, whatever. And then you like, oh, you see, you didn't even see that. And then you go back and say, oh, that's chill. Oh, that's a child. But you didn't even pay attention to it because you're just scrolling down. This is on YouTube. Like, you know, when you go up. And by the way, for me now, they just give me stimulation like it's nothing. Woo! Sometimes I don't even pay attention. I was like, oh, it's just whatever. I don't care. And then you go back, oh, that's because it's a child. Like this high schooler that plays soccer. I scroll fast. I felt a little stimulation. Like, whatever. You know, it's just... You don't even care anymore when they play with your libido. Then like, you realize, oh, they're playing with my libido because they're high school students. It's always the same things. So for me, it's just understanding. They're going to try to break you down. But most importantly, they want you to be acceptive of this manipulation. Now, at this point, it's clear that I'm not being subscriptive to it. So well, guess what they're falling on? The theatric torture is for them now. They're like, oh, you're going to be humiliated in this way. You're going to be tortured like this because you've been humiliated by reality. You wanted me to be humiliated by torture. It's okay. God give me strength for that. For the theatrics, for the humiliation that they're going to apply onto me in order to feel better about the obvious manipulations. So I'm attacking individuals, stay strong.